We're back at it with the Bronco. If you saw the last video, we got the whole thing painted, we got the whole thing wet sanded, buffed, all that kind of stuff. Now we're still putting it back together. We got a couple little things, wipers, mirrors, an emblem on the back. You see me saw us take everything off for that, so I'm not gonna bore you with any of that stuff, because what we're going to in this video is actually we got some new stuff for the front end. So we still got to put the front back together here. We got some new lights we're going to be putting on. We got a bumper we're actually going to be putting on, which it hasn't had a bumper since I've owned it, so that's going to be pretty cool. And but yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get some of this other stuff done while you check out some of what we've done so far with lights and this bumper. I ordered this thing off of actually Amazon. It came from a place called Affordable Off-Road, and it was one of the more affordable ones I could find. James Duff had a really cool looking one. This one was just a little bit more affordable, a little more in my price range. So I snagged it. It came today, and it looks pretty good on here. It wasn't wrapped or anything when it came, which is fine, because I mean, nothing's gonna happen to it. So got it in here. All I had to do was kind of bang on one of the little ears down in here where it mounts onto the frame, and went right on. Bolts, went and got some bolts. They all lined up. So we're looking pretty good. Let me show you what it looks like. So yeah, pretty excited about this one. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing kind of painted up too. But yeah, good to have a bumper on here finally. We just had like that plastic stuff that went around here is what the last owner had done with it. And it looked fine, but wasn't anywhere near as safe as this. Plus, if we get stuck, we get these little tow hook things too. So all around, I think this is gonna make it quite a bit better. And I think it looks pretty cool too. All right, so we had that bumper all test fit pretty good actually. And so now the thing was just really dirty. Like I picked it up, my hands were just all black when I moved it. So we're gonna go ahead, give it a nice clean. We're gonna start with a simple green just to get the big stuff off. And then we actually have this paint prep spray that we're gonna be using after that before we actually spray it. So what we're gonna use to throw on this bumper is a little textured metallic paint by Duplicolor. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. First time I've used it. Pretty interested to see what it's going to look like. What I'm kind of going for is that like silver kind of finish on the like those Raptor trucks and those bumpers. Hoping that's what it kind of looks like. We'll see. Okay, so part of our kind of facelift we're doing here too is we want to go ahead and get rid of these old headlights. Now I had kind of buffed them out before, and they're still better than they were when I got it, but this one's kind of all broken up, and it just doesn't look quite as good as the way the blue pops. So what I got is I got these. So these are aftermarket. These are actually listed for an Explorer. So I got to make these fit. From what I read, it's pretty much the same, but this little, I think, oblong piece is actually supposed to be round on the Bronco 2 ones. But to be honest with you, I really don't know if we even have Bronco 2 ones on here. They could be from a Ranger, they could be from an Explorer. Like I said before, this thing was an 86, so this whole thing is a front end conversion with Prerunner fenders. So I have no idea what we're gonna find in here, but it should go together pretty much the same. These ones actually also have these little LED marker strips in it, so kind of give it more of a modern look to it. And I'm hoping the dark kind of plays off the blue, go with our black wheels and stuff like that. So should be pretty cool. Just gotta get these old ones off. First step I'm gonna do is get the actual housings mounted. So I'm gonna do that first, and then I gotta run the wiring and do all the wiring for the new lights and stuff. But there's actually some wiring I could clean up while I'm doing that too, because when these were put in, whoever did it used those household type of butt connector things. So I can clean that up while I'm doing all this and get this thing, still looking better. All right, so we got the stock one off of here. Turns out on ours, somebody had just kind of nipped that thing off. It looks like it was an oval actually, but they just kind of nipped it off because these fenders don't really have any hole for it or anything like that since they're the fiberglass ones. So we're just gonna have to go ahead and take that thing off of it too and call it a day. I know I always wondered before, what this was from. It's like a bulb that like melted into the back of this housing. I really don't know what that's about, but yeah, check that out. Alright, so we got it all mounted up. I got the marker light and everything all slid in there. It all went pretty smooth. It's in there anyway. So a couple things we're having to do for these particular lights, because we have the clear housing down here instead of the original style amber one. What we got to do is we're going to run actual amber bulbs, so that way we still have like the amber marker light going on down here. So I got the 2057 NAs to put in here, and then I have the 194 NAs for the side little marker light. And so that should take care of our yellow here. The other thing that these headlights have that I thought was pretty cool, is why I got them, is it actually has these LED strips that run around, and they kind of make it look more like one of those newer F-150s, is kind of what I was going for. Specifically a Raptor, that's why we chose the color. I really like those. But anyway, so I'm going to wire these up to key on power, so that way they're going to be like running lights like on the newer cars have. So that way we turn the key on, we'll have the actual LED running lights. We'll turn on the marker lights, that's when we come on our yellows, and then of course headlights. And we also have LED bulbs in here, which we had before, but we'll also have LEDs now. So one of the main reasons I wanted to put these other headlights in, not only does it look better, but this one was really broken at the like adjuster. But then when I took it off, I noticed the whole thing was actually cracked back here too. So yeah, this thing was trashed. We got everything all on here now light-wise. One thing I'm noticing that I'm really liking myself is it seems like we got like all the same like color temperature now. Before, when we had these LEDs in the other housing, it didn't quite look like our light bar, probably because we were kind of yellowed and everything. But now everything matches. Even like the actual not marker lights, but like the running lights still look like the same color and everything. So yeah, I'm really into it. Can't wait to actually use this thing at night now. And here's where it gets good. Facelift portion pretty much done. We got the bumper on here. We got the lights all on. Stuff still sits a little crooked because, well, it's always set crooked because of the way the front end conversion was done. But you take a couple steps back, it looks really good. I'm pretty happy with it, and this should actually be able to help us get out of a spot if we need to get tugged out instead of just that piece of plastic that was on it. So next thing we're going to do, we're actually going to be taking this thing out to Big Bear with a friend here in less than a week actually. So we're going to kind of get ready for that. We're going to knock out an oil change real quick. Yeah, pretty much just look over everything, make sure everything's pretty much good, and then we'll be done. We're going to take it for a test drive now. I had to do the oil change, and then I checked the timing and kind of bumped it up a couple degrees, see if that makes it a little more responsive or anything. We're going to check that out right now and see how it goes. But there it is, first time outside with the new color, new bumper, all that stuff. Good with that timing adjustment, so everything seems happy there. We're gonna go ahead and call that a day. Make sure to stay tuned next time, because next time is when it's gonna get good. We're gonna go head up to Big Bear. We're gonna have a Tacoma with us, my buddy Matt. You've seen him in the detailing video if you've been following along, and make sure to join us next time on Tack It Garage.